Wow, what a nice show. I can't believe it's over now. I wonder if there's anything else I can watch Avatar related. Oh yeah, Korra. That's really good. I really like Korra. I can watch that. Okay, I think I'm gonna... What's happening?
The monks named me on.
No.
My brother and the princess became friends right away.
Now, you know, the critics are... I don't know what's going on with me and the critics in the United States, I gotta tell you.
Tara, do not hit that screen!
She was obsessed with the show, but I really didn't pay attention to what she was, obsessed
Are
about.
you the Avatar on?
Sokka.
My name is Iro.
I
No,
need to tell you
please.
something.
What is it, all?
They've never got me.
I am Prince Zuko,
My name is On.
son of Fire Lord Ozai and heir to the
Om
throne.
showed them he was the last airbender.
Hitchcock and Kurosawa and Stanley Kubrick, these are like my...
Bring me all your elderly!
He took Ong again.
You know, when I was a kid, this used to be one of my favorite movies of all time. It was actually one of the first movies I ever bought on DVD was The Last Airbender, and yeah, I kind of regret that. I'm watching The Last Airbender today because in honor of the Netflix live action series, which I am actually really excited for. I'm very optimistic about it, and I think by the time this movie releases on YouTube, it's going to be out and everyone will know if it's good or not. But I don't know if it's good, and you know what I do know is good? That was a joke. I can't even say it. This movie sucks. Yes, I have seen this movie before. I am a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated show. I see that show, I watch that show at least once a year, at least once a year. It's just my childhood show, and I have such a huge connection to the animated series. But, you know, the movie is something different. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I do know that this movie sucks. And I'm not saying that because other people say this sucks. I personally know this movie sucks, and as an enjoyer of this movie in the past, I can admit that this movie does suck. I mean, come on. Ong, Sokka, Appa looks like a demon from hell. I don't even know how to describe it. But anyways, I'm really excited to be watching this today. I was originally going to do like a drunk reaction to this movie where I just drink and take shots at random points in the movie. But I realized that I would be taking a shot about every 3 seconds, and that's too many shots. I don't think I could handle that. Maybe if it was every 5 seconds, I would be able to handle that. But every 3 is a little too much. So I decided to just go in like a regular reaction. And instead of just ripping on this movie, which I will be doing, I will be ripping on this movie quite a bit because I have such a love for the animated series. I also want to find some good in this movie. I want to watch this movie and find something that I can go, okay, you know what? That wasn't bad. And before we get to this reaction, let me do the lighting. So let me turn the light. We said what color? It should be boop. Nice. Okay, so the lighting today, I'm going to keep it red because this movie gives me no emotions, and usually I have to feel something to do the lighting, and so I'm just going white because I feel like it's just nothing. Okay, guys, join me while we watch M. Night Shyamalan's masterpiece. I hope you enjoy my reaction to... It's not even called Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I hope you enjoy my reaction to The Last Airbender. I guess that was a cool opening. You know, this is the very last movie I'm watching while I'm 22 years old. It's my birthday tomorrow. I don't know why I chose this one to be my very last movie of my year of 22. That made no sense grammatically, but we're gonna stick with it. Yeah! I don't even have the water, earth, fire, air, and those aren't even real words. That's fake language.
Fire and air nomads lived amongst each other in harmony. Great respect was afforded to all those who could bend their neck.
Sorry, is Katara speaking? I got distracted by a red fluff flying in the sky.
With the spirit's guidance, the Avatar kept balance in
The Avatar! I'm surprised they didn't call Katara Kotara or something. This is my favorite part of the movie, actually. I love that they thought they were getting sequels, so they titled it Book 1 Water, and it's just gone. There's no more. Ah yes, Katara. The white woman.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I swear his outfit isn't even wet.
Stop doing that stuff around me. I always get wet.
My brother and
I found one thing that I like. The scenery here is nice.
And that shows you which direction they're going. I saw how long the drag skids are. That shows you how fast they're going.
Okay, well, how fast were they going then, punk?
Go near it. This is probably some Fire Nation trick.
Yes. Why is Sokka's boomerang more of like a...
Do not hit that spear!
Do not hit that spear! Katara had no thoughts in her head at that moment.
Uncle, look!
Ah yes, Zuko, the Indian man. I actually love Dev Patel though, that's the thing. It's just funny that he's in this movie.
He's trying to eat me!
Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be a joke. I actually really like the design of his tattoo. I just wish it was like a little more blue, which is what I think the series on Netflix has done really well. The really solid blue line, but with this intricate details inside the solid blue line.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't very smart.
Oh, I see.
Don't come out till I tell you it's safe.
It's crazy how it seems like everyone else in the village is of the right ethnicity, except for our main characters. Like, that is just insane to me.
Sokka, don't.
Sokka! I was about to say nice scar, but it's on the wrong side. But he doesn't even have a scar.
Bring me all your elderly!
It's like he just fell on pavement while trying to skateboard or something. Like, that's what's on his face. Aang didn't even try to move. Oh, sorry. Ong didn't even try to move.
Don't hurt anyone.
Okay, that was easy. Wow, that firebender is... Yeah, you see that? You see that? You see that?
What would you do if they tried taking me away?
I'd kill them all.
I would forget about you. I wouldn't go after you.
I know you think everything's going to work out, but I don't.
What the heck is this cow outside? This version of Appa will always be in my head, like nightmares.
My nephew wants me to perform a little test on you.
Okay, Iroh, or should I say Ero in this movie?
That's all you want.
My name is Iro. You
Oh,
have my word.
oh, it hurts me. It's like someone's put a cheese grater onto my ears.
I believe that little boy might be the Avatar.
This grandma just knows everything, I guess.
What is the spirit world?
Well, it's not a place made of
Exposition time.
valleys, mountains, forests. Each,
Why does Sokka look like he's gonna cry?
and it is in the heart that all wars are won.
Okay, Grandma. Imagine the Avatar like literally changes hearts. He goes up to someone, reaches into their chest, pulls out their heart, grabs another heart, shoves it into their chest. Your heart has been changed. You can say thanks to the Avatar later. No need to thank me. I'm just the Avatar. Changing hearts. Why do we never see Aang during these tests?
You.
Okay, finally.
You're the only one in the entire world who could pass this test. It is truly an honor.
But how did Aang know what the test even was? They didn't say to him. They just put stuff in front of him and he's like, oh, I'm gonna bend this. I'm gonna lift this rock up. The wire work. You know, that part of the music kind of slapped.
I have nowhere to run!
Oh, well, I'm gonna run.
You can be sure.
My biggest question though is why isn't Zuko bald? Season 1 Zuko should be bald. He should look like an egg.
And ice formed, and he couldn't remember anything after that.
Hey, Jinzo!
Did anyone listen to the script? Did M.
Hey, guys.
Night
I
Shyamalama
want you
Ding
to
Dong?
meet
Is it okay if I
someone.
call him that? Did he not listen to the actors while he was filming this?
Spider Rat, the poison. Get behind me.
Oh my god, Momo is also terrifying. I forgot about Momo.
Fire Nation knew the Avatar would be born into the air nomads.
See, even the actors struggle to say Avatar, because Avatar is just the way to say it. Bro, you just stepped on Monk Gyatso's arm, man. I guess that's Gyatso, but his arm could have been over there, you know. Where's Gyatso's airbending tattoo? Is Gyatso just not an airbending master now? Aang sailing away.
Zara, stay away from him.
It's crazy how rushed this movie is. Like, there's no setup for the Avatar state. All of a sudden, he's just floating in the sky. There's not even like close-ups of his tattoos glowing or anything to give some suspense. He just goes, no! And then all of a sudden, he's floating. It's like there's no build-up. You know what I mean? So far, there've been 3 good things, and they've all been kind of small. Doesn't a Zuko ship kind of look like a bottle opener?
The banished prince.
I'm surprised they didn't call Zhao Ao or something like that, you know?
I need to remind Prince Zuko that during his banishment,
You're telling me no one saw that fire floating? Dude, I really hope live action Azula especially is really cool, because Azula is so cool. Wow, look at this. Firebending training without any firebending. And the action is so close that you don't even see anything. And he only firebends on the one guy that's not even a threat.
You know, my grandma thinks because you're an airbender.
Katara's necklace isn't even the right color. It's not even... Hello?
Stay hidden.
I swear things are so random in this movie. Like, they're so random. Like, why is this? What is happening right now?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt.
Okay.
No one is taking anybody away.
See, Sokka's gonna cry every sentence he says, right? Wait, this is the Earth camp. Whoa, this is the Earth camp, guys. The best part of the movie.
This is my father.
The Fire Nation's plan. Suppress all.
There's so much Earth around them, and they are all Earthbenders, or most of them Earthbenders.
Fire Nation sends soldiers.
Fire Nations only have these little cauldrons. Aren't Earth Kingdom people just dumb?
Earthbenders!
Yeah, Aang, speech.
Powerful and amazing people. You don't need to live like this.
You don't know me.
But I'm back now.
That speech was so inspiring, Aang.
Leave him alone.
What a push.
Okay.
This is the best long take you'll ever see in film history. And see how no one's fighting in the background? There's just no energy at all. Guys, here we go. Guys, here we go. Guys, here we go. The best fight scene in history. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you 6 guys lift that pebble. Oh, yeah. Powerful. See, everyone goes in turns. It's like an RPG or something.
The Fire Nation took this scroll from a member of your water tribe.
What a coincidence that Momo happened to land on it.
The weakest towns and villages. We should go visit some of these towns on.
I need to tell you something.
What is it,
I ran away before they trained me.
M. Night Shyamalan said, "This is good, yeah. This is... Are we too close? No, we're perfect. Yeah, this is good."
Can't the Avatar have a family?
I asked that. They said that's a sacrifice the Avatar always...
Are you sure we're not too close? Yeah, we're not too close.
They started change in the war in these small villages. Should we try it?
Yes, we should.
Why are we so close to his face? Zuko is trying to do his best Obi-Wan Kenobi impersonation. Where's the water?
Town in the Earth Kingdom.
They just have no budget. I swear there should be water there.
I have good news. As you know, I conducted a raid on the Great Library, which most...
I like our introduction to Ozai is the most lame introduction of all time. He's just walking in a hallway. There's not even a slow reveal to it. He's just walking in a hallway.
My son doesn't find this person first, and he turns out to be the Avatar.
He's not that menacing, is he?
Well, I suppose it's a race then.
Like here it seems like Ozai kind of actually cares about Zuko. Ozai should not be like this.
You could fall in love here. We could settle down here, and you could have a blessed life.
And you can open a tea shop.
Hey, little one, come here. You look like a very smart boy.
Actually, I only get C- in school.
Then Prince Zuko was sentenced to an Agni Ki duel.
No way they just said that.
Showed up.
No way
It
they
was
just
his
said that.
father he was to fight.
An Agni Ki? Ki? Like quiche?
Try to keep your wrist bent like it's showing.
Yeah, come on, man.
What's wrong?
Why should I believe that Katara is good? I've only seen her waterbend once, basically, and she messed up. Are they holding iPads? Air nomads just have iPads. Really great cell service at the temples.
These are all the avatars.
The movie's just going through the greatest hits of the show in about 2 minutes per hit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're done that. Okay, we're done that. Okay, we're done that. Okay, we're done that. It's a boom, 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 boom.
I have lived in poverty because...
Why did he have to have the knife? Sometimes I think, what's the point of a scene in this movie? You know, like, what was the point, really, of that scene besides exposition and besides to get Aang captured? Like, he could have been captured in many other ways. What, like, that was just there for exposition. There's just no lock on the door. He could just open it.
The Avatar has escaped!
Whee! So you think such a cool action sequence is about to happen? This episode in the show is so good.
This was their practice area.
Thank you for saying that out loud. Who are you talking to? Wow, so cool, Aang. You know, the actor who plays Aang, you know, you could see that he's trying. I'll give him that. You can see that he's trying. He's just not the guy to play Aang, though. What was Shamalama Ding Dong thinking? That was the worst shot I've ever seen in my entire life. That was worse than the close-up. Oh, cool slow-mo kick. See, that's such an improbable shot. It's never explained that the archer is supposed to be like an incredible, never miss type kind of archer, you know? I've realized why I haven't watched this movie in a while. This movie makes me want to drink. This movie makes me want to become an alcoholic.
My son is this person the soldiers are calling.
This is competent filmmaking, guys. It's intimidating. You don't see his face.
We assume he has rejoined with his supporters.
Hold up, are we already at the Northern Water Tribe? We're only an hour into the movie. You're saying the last 40 minutes of the movie is the Northern Water Tribe?
That he is traveling to the Northern Water Tribe.
Look at how Ozai is lounging.
Avatar has only knowledge of his birth element.
What do you say about the Avatar? See, sometimes the effects can actually be kind of good. Like that gate closing was actually kind of cool. And then Momo comes into the frame and ruins everything. And it's the dick
We arrived at the Northern Water Tribe.
had to really do all those flips and a little jump at the end for flair.
What is possible when the alarm sounds? We want to minimize their bender sources.
Yeah, why not just have no fire in the city?
Assign a guard to be with you at all times.
Boom, firebenders can't even bend anymore.
I had a feeling you might volunteer.
Why? We've never seen you guys meet before in our entire lives.
The Northern Water Tribe benders are given their strength by their moon and ocean spirits.
What the heck was that shot? What the heck was that establishing shot?
Water is what?
Water.
Flowing element. The element of change.
Oh, well, I would have failed. We haven't seen Aang train at all. You know what I mean? And that speech that he just gave sounded like a speech that you would give first day of waterbending training. But apparently it's been a few days. So what, did you just not teach them what water was in the first place? You just started with sparring straight away? What? See, again, some of the water effects actually look good. I can't deny that.
Ba Sing Se won't be held against you. Your son died in that siege, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
It's just so random.
And I offer my condolences on your nephew.
Welcome aboard. Your son died, by the way.
I've loved spending these weeks with you, Sokka.
Yes. I loved watching your relationship blossom.
My mother and father could not get me to make a sound or move, so they prayed for days to the moon spirit.
He's like, oh, I wasn't expecting an actual backstory here. I was just making a joke. It's me, Sokka, the joke guy.
My hair turned white then, and...
Even though he's not made a single joke in this entire movie.
Any problems?
It's just every scene is just missing something that would make it better. Like 5 seconds. Like Zuko should be hiding right now, right? He's stowed away on the ship. Iroh should go downstairs and be like, Zuko, it's safe. And then Zuko pops out. You know what I mean? So we know he's hiding in the first place. It's just so easy to fix some of the things. I do quite like the backgrounds and the set design and stuff, and most of the scenes are actually pretty decently done. Especially the Northern Water Tribe. Like, you can tell this is an actual set that was built and stuff, and I actually quite like it. Oh no, if only you could firebend from your hands. Oh. I feel like that just inconsistently breaks the rules of this entire movie. Because firebenders need a source to firebend, but then how come he could create heat from his hands?
There is a very spiritual place. The city was built around this place.
But I won't take you. I refuse to take you.
You have to meditate for long periods of time.
Okay.
Without losing focus.
Thanks, Aang.
Some of the great monks can meditate for 4 days.
Why does he say every sentence? Like there is a period between every single word.
Aang, I knew you were real.
He just said he needed to focus, and Katara automatically is like, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? And flippin' stupid torch. What a stupid thing to have. Katara has no peripherals at all. She's just blind on the right side. You know, I used to think that was really cool. You know, when I was a kid and I watched this movie for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, ooh. I actually thought it was so epic. Okay, Jurassic Park. I can't believe drill hats are a thing.
Please, tell me how to beat the Fire Nation.
No.
You're angry. You must let this go.
I'm so sad that they didn't use Code the Face Stealer, because I think he would look really cool in live action, and I'm really excited to see him, hopefully at least, in the new series, the new Netflix series. Man, if there's no fire in the room, Zuko is so weak. My least favorite thing is also... I have so many least favorite things, but another one is just how slow the firebending is. Wow, nice zoom in shot. Bro, he could definitely see your leg. Aang, just airbend, bro. Finally, they're actually using their bending powers. She just Azula'd him. She just Azula'd him.
I know what to do. We have to go.
So far, if you took Sokka out of this movie, nothing would change at all. Like, he hasn't done anything.
We can be friends, you know.
You know that line has so much meaning in the animated show, but it's so throwaway here. It's so throwaway. Dude, I would run if I saw this ugly beast in front of me, I swear. Sorry, Appa, I love you so much, but you're just so ugly in this movie.
Yin and yang, push and pull.
They even say yang wrong. They even said yang wrong. That's not even from the show. Yin yang, not yin yang. Yin yang.
We are now the gods. No!
Aang's having a migraine. Just hold on a sec.
You're too soft, General Iroh.
What was that zoom?
He's making fire out of nothing.
I was about to say, can Zuko do the same thing then?
He gave me life when I was a child.
Then there's still a chance.
If you die right now. He's like, die.
He's Fire Nation.
Die.
Believe in our beliefs as much as they believe in theirs.
But you would.
I'm scared. Don't make me any more scared.
Make her more scared. Do it.
I will miss you more than you know.
She's doing the Spock. She's doing the Spock thing. Catch all my Star Trek reactions on the channel, by the way. I watch a lot of Star Trek here. If you're into that stuff. That's rough, buddy. What are these stances? Ah.
He wants to fight you so he can capture you, Zuko. Walk away. Come.
Nice. I hate that 4 random waterbenders defeat Zhao. The whole point of him dying was Zuko attempting to save him one last time before he rips the hand away, is that Zhao's like pride basically kills him. And it's one of the first times that we actually see this other side of Zuko. I guess Zhao doesn't die, he's in Korra. Watch Korra. That's actually pretty decent. Wow, cool action, buddy. No, I actually thought this was sick when I was getting it. I was like, Aang, Aang, Aang. Make way! Oh, there's his tattoo. I swear he did not have it in one of the flashbacks. You know, the music is actually kind of good here. Whee! Yeah, the music actually rocks here. Aang messes up, he shoots the wave backwards, killing everyone in the water tribe. That's a cool shot. That's a cool shot, you can't lie. That's a very Zack Snyder type shot. Okay, the wave's over, the Fire Nation can just... The Fire Nation can just turn around and attack again. I get they got scared, but like... Aang should have destroyed some ships, that's all I'm saying. He should have destroyed some ships.
They want you to be their avatar Ong.
You're not my avatar, Ong.
We all do.
No, not me. I just said that. I'm not bowing.
Our forces in the north.
Oh, guys, look at this. A little tease for the next movie.
I do, Father.
Written, produced, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. That's the worst movie I think I've ever seen in my entire life, you know. I honestly think it's horrible. But there are some good things about it still, which I will talk about. Kathleen Kennedy was an executive producer on this movie. The actual people who made Avatar were the executive producers on this movie. You know, people tend to forget that, you know. People were sad that in the Netflix adaptation, the original creators are not there. But people tend to forget that they executive produced this movie. I don't even want to say this is a movie. I can't wait for the sequel though, guys. I'm actually so excited for the sequel. I can't wait. You know, we're gonna get to see Toph in live action. We're gonna get to see everything. James Newton Howard made the music for that. That's why the music actually had some redeeming qualities about it. And that was my reaction to The Last Airbender, the 2010. I don't really want to say action adventure movie. I think it's just a thing. The 2010 thing starring some people who should not have been starring in this movie. And yeah, I kind of want to focus more on the positives of this movie because that's what I said in the intro. But you know, I also forgot how horrendous this movie is. But yeah, I kind of want to keep this review more a little on the shorter side than my usual reviews, and I want to keep it on the positives because I could talk about how just brain dead M. Night Shyamalan was, and I like some M. Night Shyamalan movies, but I could talk about how just horrible the writing was in this movie. I could talk about how M. Night Shyamalan directed this movie like he's never seen a camera in his life. I could talk about how all the actors in this movie have never acted before, or how they seem like they've never acted before. I could talk about how Sokka had his name wrong and his name was actually Sokka. I could talk about how Aang was called Ong and that's just wrong. I can talk about how Katara was still called Katara, which makes no sense because if you're changing everyone else's names, then why don't you just change her name as well? I could talk about how they said Yang was Yang and that's not even part of this movie.
3 days later.
I could talk about the cinematography being the worst cinematography in my entire life. I could talk about scenes just being there for absolutely no reason. I could talk about the story moving so fast that the first 40 minutes of this movie is the entire season and the last 40 minutes of this movie are only 4 episodes, which is absolutely insane. I could talk about the fact that there's almost no bending in this movie and the fact that everyone is fighting using hand-to-hand combat instead of actually bending in a movie called The Last Airbender, a movie that is about a bending. Did they use all their budget? I don't know what's happening. I could talk about so many things, guys, but this stuff has already been talked about on the internet before, and you guys have probably already heard it a million times. So I want to focus on the good. I know this movie is horrible. You know this movie is horrible. My 9-year-old self did not know this movie was horrible, but that's a story for another day. I really loved this movie when I was 9. I feel like I need to go back in time and just kind of whack my 9-year-old self in the face for actually enjoying this movie. And I watched this movie before I watched the show, you know. Actually, maybe a good thing about this movie is that I watched this movie before I watched the show. I really liked this movie when I was 9. I said, you know what I want to do? I want to watch the show. And then I watched the show. I realized the movie was trash. I realized the movie was trash after I watched the show. But this movie inspired me. It inspired my 9-year-old self to watch the show. So you know what? Props to the movie there. That's the first good thing I'll say about this movie. It made me watch the show and realize just how trash this movie actually is. But let's talk about some of the good, because when I hear a lot about this movie, I don't ever hear anything good about it. I don't hear anyone say anything good about this movie. It's always how bad this movie is, and understandable, this movie sucks. I cannot say that enough. This movie sucks. But let's talk about maybe the music. I don't think the music is as good as the show. Don't get me wrong. I think the show's music is insane. They're finally releasing the music on streaming, by the way. If you've ever tried to stream the Avatar music before, it has never existed because I feel like there was just some issue with either Nickelodeon or someone else where the actual score of Avatar The Last Airbender, the original animated show, has just never been available. But with the release of Netflix's live action adaptation about 3 months ago, they released the first season, the official score of the first season of the animated show, and that just blew my mind. It was amazing. I've listened to it. It's awesome. The music in this movie is not as good as the animated show, but it is still pretty decent music overall. While not all the scores, while not all the songs and stuff hit home, or I didn't really pay attention to a lot, there were definitely some themes in the score and some parts of the music that I actually like. And so, for example, when Aang, or Ong, I should say, is leaving Zuko's ship, kind of near the start of the movie, probably like 15 minutes in, and Zuko's like, just know where to run, as Aang has his glider out and then just runs away. Stupidest line I've ever heard in my entire life. Worst writing writing. This movie has the worst writing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I swear. Okay, talking about the positives, talking about the positives, talking about the positives. Anyways, there's this little moment in the music during that moment where it reminded me of the animated show. It was just like this doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't know. It was like something that sounded like that. But I was like, oh, you know what? This kind of reminds me of the show, and anything that reminds me of the show in this disaster movie is going to be good. And so I quite like that part. But I think my favorite part of the music is actually the end, when Aang makes that giant wave, and it's a very controversial wave, don't get me wrong, but when Aang makes that giant wave at the end of the movie, the music is actually really cool. It's very epic, it's fairly emotional, it feels very flowy to me, you know what I mean? Like, just the way that the music kind of was going, it was epic, but it also felt a little bit like I could see it being used with waterbending. I feel like the music that was used there, it wouldn't work with earthbending, it wouldn't work with firebending, but it worked well with waterbending, because waterbending is a very kind of flowy type of bending style, if you know what I mean. And so I thought the music worked great there overall. And so yeah, I mean, I think the best thing about this movie is the music, and I think very closely actually followed by the set design. I think there actually is some really cool set design in this movie, and you can tell that a lot of people put work into the sets, which is such a shame when you watch a movie this bad. But I think, for example, the air temples, not maybe when they're actually on the air temples, but when you see the air temples from the outside, I actually quite liked how they were designed. I liked that the air temples were almost chiseled into the mountains, which was really cool, and they just came from the rock. Like, they weren't other things put there. They were just like, you know, those like civilizations that built homes into cliff sides, and they chiseled the cliff sides into like homes and stuff like that. That's what the air temples were like, and I actually quite enjoyed that. I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool design for an air temple, and so I thought those were cool. And I also thought that the Northern Water Tribe looked really good. There were many shots where you're like, oh, this is an actual set, you know what I mean? Like, there were definitely shots where it was a visual effect, it was background, whatever you want to call it, but there were many shots as well, and many scenes where they were actually actors talking, and you could tell that the building that they were standing in, or the city that surrounded them, like the street that they were on, was real. And so it just looked like a lot of work, and the buildings looked very Water Tribe-y to me. It looked like we were in the North Pole. I thought that the set design and everything was actually really good. I thought the set design was actually really good. And I think one more thing that I liked about this movie was sometimes the bending looked good, most of the time it didn't, but there was like 5% of the time the water bending actually looked pretty decent. At the very start, Katara's orb looked nice, and then when Aang gets like a little upset, I don't know when he's training with Master Paku and he gets a little upset, and it's the orbs, I guess. I just like orbs, but there's like these like 5 or 6 little orbs that pop up on the screen of water. I was like, oh, those orbs look nice as well. And sometimes some of the other water bending looked decent, maybe not good, but decent. But yeah, the bending was so slow and horrible. It just ruined everything to begin with. The fact that firebenders can't even use their own hands to bend fire, they need to use like an extra source besides Iroh and Zuko, and who knows why that is. Maybe it's because they're part of the royal family or something. Anyways, gotta keep it positive. I can't keep it positive with this movie though. It's so hard to keep it positive with this movie. It's so hard. But yeah, I can't think of anything else that I liked. I'm sure there was something else in this movie that I was like, oh, you know what? I quite liked that. Oh, I don't know, wherever they were at the start of this movie for the Southern Water Tribe, the backgrounds, they were actually there. That was cool. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I can say another single positive thing about this movie. I could probably talk for 2 hours about what I hate about this movie and what I dislike about this movie and what the animated show does better. But in terms of what's positive, I wanted to keep this review a little bit more positive. In terms of what's positive about this movie, I think that's it. I think there's nothing else in this movie that is positive. Maybe there is. You can tell Noah Ringer is trying as Aang. You can tell he is trying. I feel like I think, at least I've heard, he's never acted before, so this was his first performance. A lot of stuff is on his shoulders because Avatar: The Last Airbender is a huge fandom, and he was also just cast incorrectly in the first place, so everything was going against him. And yeah, I mean, he's not a great actor. It's hard to say that with a child actor, especially when he was probably fairly young in this movie, but he wasn't that good in this movie to begin with, and like, he was good at the martial arts and stuff, but yeah, I mean, you could tell. This is another thing that I liked about this movie, is you could tell that Noah Ringer was trying. You couldn't tell that Nicola Peltz as Katara or Jackson Rathbone as Sokka, you couldn't tell that they were trying. If someone had come up to me and said, yeah, the actress playing Katara was trying her best at acting, I'd be like, you're joking, right? Like she just says every line like this: my name is Katara, and I am the last waterbender of the Southern Water Tribe. But at least Noah Ringer tried to have emotion in his voice. He failed, but at least he tried to have emotion in his voice. So maybe that's a positive as well. And I think the final positive, actually thinking about it, is that we got no more of these movies, which is like, thank God. I just love that they sequel baited us so hard that they were like, yeah, there's going to be a sequel. People are going to love this movie. And then, you know, the movie flops and there's just no sequel. They even title this movie Book One. You know, they have Azula at the end. They have all these things. M. Night Shyamalan comes in. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I'm going to make 3 of these movies. You know what I mean? It's just so funny. And I think that's a positive as well. I think we got to end it like just lighthearted like that. I think I'm going to end the review there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, you can check it out. I'm up to 3 weeks early on my movie and TV show reactions, which means, you know, if I watch a movie, you can watch it 3 weeks ahead of YouTube. I do a lot of Star Trek DS9 Wednesdays and stuff like that. I'm going through the whole Star Trek Deep Space Nine show. I do a lot of other movies, some Bollywood movies, Tollywood movies, as well as just other movies as well. And yeah, I don't know. It's just fun time watching movies on this channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my reaction. I don't know if I'll be reacting to the new Netflix animated show or not animated show, live action show or not. I just don't know. If I have a bunch of friends who want to watch it with me, and if they want to watch it with me, I won't be reacting to it because they don't want to do like a video. They don't want to be on video while we watch it. But if I'm watching it by myself, I will film a reaction. So it's really just up to whether my friends actually want to watch it with me or whether I just watch it on my own time. But yeah, we'll see if they'll either pop up on my channel or they won't pop up. What am I trying to say? Pop up on my channel, or the videos won't pop up on my channel. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.